Hi there, this is Sharon Goldman, journalist and founder of Ground Level AI. And I'm just here to share a little video about an essay that I just posted and tell you a little bit about it. I'm going to share my screen here. It's called "The Fight Over Open Models Has Entered a New Phase." What began as a debate over AI transparency has become a battle over security, geopolitical competition, and control of the AI frontier. If you've been following the news for the last few days, you've definitely seen so much about this. But it got me thinking about an article that I wrote way back in March 2023, just a few months after ChatGPT came out. It was just days after OpenAI's GPT-4 was released, after a lot of anticipation. And I wrote about a fierce debate in open AI models, not OpenAI's models just, but open models generally, and what it could mean for the AI industry. So what happened at that time was that GPT-4 was quickly followed by a lot of online criticism about their technical report. It was notable mostly because of what it did not include: any details about the model's size, architecture, hardware, training, compute, dataset construction, training method. And in hindsight, I realized that GPT-4 marked a turning point. Even when earlier AI models were proprietary rather than fully open source, meaning the code, the model weights, and enough information about the training process for others to inspect, reproduce, and build on, companies typically did disclose enough technical details for researchers to broadly understand how they had been built. And so researchers were pretty upset about this. I remember I spoke with William Falcon, CEO of Lightning AI. He offered a funny analogy about fried chicken. He said, if I give you a recipe for fried chicken, we all know how to make it, but if you do something different and you're like, wait, why is this different? You wouldn't be able to maybe even identify the ingredient, or maybe it's not even fried, who knows? So he said that it's like from 2015 to 2019, we were trying to figure out, as an AI research field, what food people wanted to eat. They found burgers were a hit, think ChatGPT. And from 2020 to 2022, we learned to cook them well, but now we're adding secret sauces to the burgers. I always think about this analogy because that controversy was really about transparency, but now that secret sauce has kind of led to the much larger fight about who gets to control how or even whether frontier AI gets built. That's what's happening now. And that has accelerated dramatically over the past few weeks. If you're following the AI news, you certainly remember that Moonshot AI's Kimi K3 came out, another sort of DeepSeek moment. More challenges to the assumption that only a handful of closed US labs like Anthropic and OpenAI can build frontier AI. But at the same time, you have OpenAI and Anthropic warning policymakers in Washington that these Chinese open weight models pose a strategic risk to US AI leadership. So as a result, there's been talk that Washington has weighed a model ban on Chinese AI open weight models. Then there's also been a whole cybersecurity debate in recent weeks. You certainly have heard that OpenAI's frontier models escaped a testing environment, hacked into Hugging Face, which, by the way, is an open source platform. And in an unexpected twist, Hugging Face said that it was a Chinese frontier model that helped analyze the intrusion after several closed models declined to assist with the forensic investigation. And just recently, Nvidia and others announced the Open Secure AI Alliance, arguing that defenders need access to frontier AI, not just attackers. That's something that I heard a lot about a month ago at an event called Open Frontier in June, where leaders argued that maintaining American leadership in open weight AI is itself a democratic and national security imperative. And then there was this open letter signed by dozens of organizations arguing the same. But Anthropic notably declined to sign this. So in this essay, I also kind of look back at the origins of today's AI, which is really, the fact is that modern AI was built in an open culture. In research, the field was built around researchers at academia who published papers, released software frameworks, and expected others to build on their work. That particularly came to the fore in 2017 when Google researchers published Attention is All You Need, publicly introducing the transformer architecture that now underpins virtually every major LLM. And then in 2024, there was another shift. Companies like Meta and also in China began releasing open weight models. Unlike fully open source AI, open weight models release the trained model itself, allowing others to download, run, and modify it while keeping the training code, training data, or both proprietary. And now, over the past 6 months or so, the real debate is about control. It's not just about transparency. It's about who gets to build frontier AI, who gets access to it, who benefits to it, who gets to set the rules. It's now encompassing national security, democratic values, geopolitical influence, and also for enterprises, control over their own data. So that tension has really existed since the earliest days of software, but now it's becoming a societal question. Who should control one of the most consequential technologies of the 21st century, AI?